every time it's like, well, every time there was a question about, selling and things like that. Because again, you keep answering the same question over and over again. So
right.
I think
yeah, well, I've thought about doing a YouTube or something like that. I don't know where 2022 is going to go. In the Zooms that I've done, for my handcrafted group, I started out just trying to help handcrafted people, because if you use the word handcrafted, that's the brand Poshmark has set up. But if you use handmade or handcrafted as one word, or homemade, your listings aren't going to get found. So you really need to try to use, especially when it comes to the brand handcrafted, and your items that don't have any brands whatsoever. None. NONE is an official brand on Poshmark, and that's going to get the item.
I didn't know that. I thought there was just unbranded. So you're saying, and what'd you say? And what?
NONE. None. NONE.
Wow. Okay.
That's an official brand on Poshmark. So, those things are showing up in the feed. And right now, if you do a video on your listing, it goes to your profile picture for 48 hours. But they've also been adding the videos to the top of the brand page. And I went to the Anthropology brand page because I figured that was probably the brand that would have the most videos, but I might be wrong. But I was on that brand page and I counted 200 videos, and the oldest one was almost 12 days old. So I'm kind of thinking, and I haven't been able to get an answer from Posh, I'm thinking that they might expire at 2 weeks. It's some amount of time, but they're adding the videos to the brand pages now.
Well, it might be too that a lot of people aren't doing videos, because like I haven't done a whole lot of videos, because I only thought about videos when it came to jewelry, like the shiny blingy blingy stuff, not on everything. And then when I was kind of looking at yours, I noticed that you did a lot of videos, and I'm like, that's why I wanted to ask you, do you feel that helps you? Because to me, doing videos is more time consuming, and I don't want to take away from listing if it's not going to help. Right.
I think it's helping. And I think the algorithm also is kind of rewarding you because you're doing a video. Mm-hmm. And trying to get into as many categories and markets as you can is I think going to help you too. In my handcrafted group, and it was just because I did not know this, I'm not a tech savvy person, but a few weeks ago I saw in the electronics, they had a showroom, trend room called phone case charms. And it's basically a glorified bracelet with a loop on the end that you can attach to your phone case. Right. And some days they're called phone strap charms. And I told a bunch of people in my handcrafted group that do jewelry, go put a little string or something on your bracelet today, or make a new one and throw it up in a listing and get $15 for the listing challenge and get yourself in electronics.
Right.
And they've been selling them.
Oh, wow.
So, I try to think of ways to get things into markets and have as many categories as you can. And the one lady that does macrame plant hangers, since I've got cats and I've been to Home Goods, and they've always got these macrame cat beds and things that you can put in front of the windows. And I said, Diane, get a pillow, get a stuffed cat, put it in your macrame plant hanger and put it in pets. And she sold one right away. And she'd had that macrame plant hanger in her closet for almost a year and it never sold. She put the stuffed cat in it and it sold within a week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, you need to come check out my closet and help me out.
Right?
I'll help anybody.
That's what I consultant and like do and people will pay you to critique their closets. Like there are eBayers who do that. So you should definitely,
I'm like,
target
I
it.
feel so what? You're like, I don't want to take over. I'm like, no, go ahead. You're like feeding
What
us
was
all
that?
this information. I'm like, yes, please feed.
Yeah, I've had people send me listings and say, how would you write the description? And I'll write it up and send it to them and say, use what you want of this description, because everybody comes at this with different reasons, different ways. They might just want to be selling things out of their closet and it's a part-time gig. The other ones are full-time and want to expand. So everybody comes at this from different ways and reasons and stuff. And there's no real wrong way to do it, but I try to give them my opinion of things and copy it if you want to use it. If you don't want to use it, then I'm not offended, but hopefully I'm giving you some ideas and they can take that as kind of a template and use it for other listings and grow. So I've been having some one-on-one Zooms with people, and one of the things on my checklist, not only is to figure out my short on my camera, but is to figure out how to zoom in and pull up the Poshmark app and go into a listing, because I know there's a way to share screens, but I haven't got that yet. So that's one of my goals, is to learn Zoom a little bit better so I can do that.
I know
you
how
should
to do it
definitely
on the
monopolize off
computer.
your talent, because if you don't, someone else will. And there are a lot, like Daily Refinement. He actually has a Patreon. I'm not part of that. But they have a Patreon, and what they do is every Monday, just like your group, they actually get on Facebook Live and they go through and talk about like the goals from the week and how can you improve your so he will be a good person. I'd recommend Daily Refinement to everyone, but definitely check him out and see how he runs his mentor group of people.
Right.
And they pay like a month, I think like $30 a month.
Did they do something different to the feed? It looks different to me.
Yeah, they changed it recently. Yeah, they changed it. I noticed that it was before the first of the year that they started, when they changed the word showrooms to trends, is when I noticed the feed change, because they're adding previous days feeds, previous days showrooms into the feed, so things are populating more often. And if you follow a style tag, did you know that you could follow style tags?
Are you talking about like a brand? Like, oh no, that's a brand. What is the style tag? Maybe I'm not sure.
Like in the bottom we have like athleisure, tennis, basketball.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
That's actually not. That's good to know.
Yeah, you can follow a style tag just like you do a brand, and then anytime anything's added to that style tag, it'll show up in your feed, and you'll get more exposure than if you've used those style tags, and that all shows up in the feed too, and you can follow them. It wouldn't surprise me if they keep going with this video thing. It wouldn't surprise me if they don't start adding videos to the top of the style tags like they do the brands. I could see that coming down the road.
Yeah, I just wish the videos were longer than a minute. I only use them like when I want to like highlight like defects or something on my garments, and that 1 minute goes by so fast. I'm like trying to talk like, ooh, right here, It goes like so. It really goes like so fast. I would love like 2 minutes would work, but 1 minute, I'm like,
let go. Her Posh Closet, Joanne's Posh Closet, is right after her name. That's her closet. And hi,
so how do I get past her name?
It's Pete and Repeat. PeatandRepet.
Yeah, no, I know Joanna's, but we're talking Samantha's.
Oh, Samantha.
Samantha.
I'll put the link in for mine. I'll give you mine. So
thanks, Samantha.
Samantha's being lazy today. She's getting ready to go back to work, so she's still on vacation mode.
I'm enjoying my.
She has every reason then.
The last day of vacation. No, I think you really should monopolize on the talent you have, because for a lot, first of all, reselling is hard, and I think the YouTubers have made it out, because once your closet is well oiled, it feels like it's easy. I go back to my running days. Like for me, getting up running half a marathon is nothing, but for someone who's on the couch, it's hard. And that's because I do it
Right.
all the time. And Poshmark is no different. And so, but once you have that information, like you can coach someone and again, charge for it, because if you're going to put in the time and energy, you might as well
Right.
make money off of it.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I'm such a giver, you know, and that was, you know, when I first started doing the face masks, I was I went to college to be a social worker, and I became a social worker at a nursing home, and then I worked my way up and I was a nursing home administrator. And my sister was a respiratory therapist. The other sister was an RN. I quit my job as nursing home administrator because mom was supposed to live for 6 months and I didn't want her in the nursing home, even though it was a great nursing home. And I thought, oh, I'll take a hiatus for 6 months and take care of mom. Well, the stubborn old koozie, she lived for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
And I was
Awesome.
Good for her.
I guess I was taking good care of her. But you know, I just kept adapting as time went on and stuff. And I did dog shows for a while and sold pet bandanas. And I had all this fabric. And then people from church, every time somebody would stop sewing or the family would go clean out the house, they'd always bring me all of the fabric. And I've got tons of fabric in my spare bedroom. I ended up selling the guest bed so I'd have more room for Posh. So that meant I could go buy more stuff with the money I sold the bed for. You know, so I've got fabric out in the shed, and being a seamstress and doing bridal alteration stuff from home when I was taking care of mom, when the pandemic hit, I had, nurse friends and respiratory therapist friends and stuff saying, we can't get, we're out of N95s. We need a mask to put the N95 in so we can work. So I was donating tons of masks, and then I started trying to sell them on Posh, and they kept saying, oh, they're non-compliant, they're non-compliant. And then the morning that Dr. Fauci was on Face the Nation or something like that, I just happened to catch it, and he's like, yeah, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to use cloth face masks. And I reached out to Manish, and that was the first time I'd ever emailed him. I didn't even know if I had the right email account or anything. It's like, I keep trying to sell face masks on Poshmark, and they keep saying it's non-compliant. And now Dr. Fauci says we should wear them, and it would be a fashion statement, and this is going to be a trend, and blah, 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 blah. And I must have got him he'd seen it or something, because within 2 hours, all of my listings were reinstated.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it was just, I must have hit him at the right time. So within the first week or so, I sold like 500 face masks. I was going crazy.
Wow.
That's amazing.
But I had all the elastic, I had all the fabric, and my intent was to help people because it's a medical need. But a lot of the stuff had been given to me. So it's like, if I just make $5 a mask, I'm happy. And I'm going to approach this at $8 a mask and try to get people to bundle and see how the bundle feature would work to my advantage. And most people buy 3 to 5 masks.
Oh, wow.
Very seldom do I ever have just one mask.
Okay.
And
when you do your
that
mask,
Poshmark shipping doesn't, you want to get the most out of it. That's
right.
Right.
So when you do your masks, are you doing them because I know you're doing them handmade and you're doing them in your boutique. So are you doing variations on them, or are you just doing like, okay, say you've got like a pink flowered one, you're doing a pink flowered one size small, and then a pink flowered one size medium or extra large or kids? Is that how you're doing it? Or are you creating individual listings, or are you doing various?
Yeah, I create individual listings. As far as I will have, let me find some that are made. Where's my bag? My Poshmark tote bag. I'll go into the grocery store and they're like, we need masks. So I run back out to the car and I get masks. I've got 2 styles of masks. One is the pleated style, the big size that expands in the middle, and there's an opening for a filter to go inside it.
Oh, okay.
So I have the big pleated ones that have the wire in the nose. and I'll do a list. I'll have this one mask, and I'll have a listing that is for the adults. I'll have one under women that has the regular and the extra large, and then I'll also throw in the youth size because some people have very small faces. I'll do a listing for that for the women's. I'll have the same mask in men's. And then I'll take a picture of the same mask again, and I'll put it in the kids and offer toddler and youth.
Okay.
So for the one mask, I can do like 3 listings, in 3 different places. And then I've got the shield style. That's just the 2 layers of fabric, but it's more of a fitted face mask. And I'll do the same thing with the women's, the men, the kids. And then I've got like a happy birthday print. I'll post that also in party favors.
Oh.
And say, this is a good, you could give it as a party favor for everybody coming to the party. The Christmas prints I would put under home decor and holiday stuff. I try to cover, all the stuff on the fabric, all the shelf behind me is my fabric.
Right.
So I try to have military themes, and I try to market them to like I try to cover as many of the holidays as I can. The Christmas, the Kwanzaa, Passover, Hanukkah. I try to have something that could potentially go to the different things. So, I've got the one prints that, I can say for Black History Month, or for Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. The St. Patrick's Day, I'll say these are great if you're a Notre Dame or Irish fan, or if you're from Ireland. You can't necessarily say, there's copyright rules. So I only do the Cardinals and the Blues from St. Louis, and then I'll do Purdue since I'm Purdue. But I don't do a lot of the licensed prints because I don't want to try to get into too much trouble. I'll do a few kids prints, but I don't try to cover, do a lot of the licensed prints because I don't want to have things taken down because I'm violating copyrights. But I'll say, like, the Notre Dame thing, it's like, this is a great for your Notre Dame fan, or the Tiger print, that if you're a Mizzou fan, if you're a Mizzou or LSU, this Tiger print would be really good for you. So I try to market it to different schools or different groups or different ethnicities or holidays, or any way I can to try to get things found a little bit better.
Now, when it comes to the licensed fabric, like say like SpongeBob or even the sports fabric, the reason why you pay up on them is because you're paying a premium for the licensing, so you can sell them as a licensing thing. I don't know if you guys all knew that or not.
No, I don't think so, because I think those is for personal use only.
No, because if you go to Joann's and you show them your business license and you have the fabric, it is literally, they are allowed to sell it, because I've asked them, and I called the lawyer, and the lawyer said that if you buy it at the premium, because they're allowed to sell it, you are allowed to then use it in the way that you are going to use it, because it's handmade.
No, I had Cubs when I had an Etsy shop. I had Cubs fabric, and the Cubs called me and made me take it down. I got a letter from them. I got called out on Cubs.
Really?
Yeah, if I go into my Joann's here in the St. Louis area, they know I'm a seamstress. They will not sell me more than 3 yards of a licensed fabric.
Oh, wow. See, ours here will. And I've asked them, and I called the trademark lawyer, and they said, yeah, as long as you pay the premium, you're allowed.
No, some of the fabrics have where you can buy into and pay an extra amount, but I did camouflage stuff for a while, and I could do true timber, but I could not do real tree unless I wanted to pay them like $10,000 to have a licensing and to be allowed to use the real tree fabric.
Wow.
And if I could send my wholesale certificate and my sales tax stuff to the companies that manufacture it and ask to buy a bolt, and I'd be refused.
Wow. See, that's
Some
totally
will,
different.
some will, and some won't. It's a very gray area. It's a very stupid area, because you do pay an extra amount. It's fabric.
Yeah,
The teams
you're buying it to make stuff.
already making money. It's a very stupid law and a very stupid thing. It's a very gray area. There's been some judges that have said, yes, you can use the fabric, and some that have said no. And it just varies. It's kind of like the post office. I have to have my labels have the day I'm shipping, it has to be on the label, or they will
Right.
refuse the package. And that is the law, but whether or not it's enforced by different post offices, it varies. But my Joann's would not sell me more than 3 yards.
Oh, wow. See, that's trippy, because even when I talked to the lawyer, because I was telling you about the Nikes, like if I do a Nike shirt and I bleach dye it, I was like, can they come after me? Because I specifically called to find that out, and they're like, no, as long as you say it is not, you did this, it's handmade, you don't use the Nike name, you're allowed.
Right. If you don't use the Nike name, you're allowed to use it. If you don't use
but if it has the big Nike swoosh, he goes, as long as you don't put it that it was a Nike shirt. He says it was a Nike shirt that you then transform. He said, but you can't use the brand as Nike, because then they can say, oh, well, we don't actually sell that. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because that was my big thing. I was like, before I get into any craft stuff, I want to know what's allowed, what's not allowed. Because I was like, I can't afford to get sued.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a very gray area, and hopefully it'll get changed, and things will be clearer in fabrics. And I talked to Manish about this. The things needed to be clearly written out in the guidelines for Poshmark on saying that if you've upcycled it with bleach, or if you've upcycled it with colored tie-dye things, that those are allowed to be sold on Poshmark, but it has to be used as handcrafted. And I've got that in writing from him, saying that it has to be in handcrafted. And he did say that as long as you are doing whatever you want to do to the garment, or if you're hand making the face mask, or you're making the bracelet, whatever, that you're the manufacturer, you're the distributor, you're the seller, you can list it as boutique.
Right. I knew that one, because it says that in boutique, if you guys have a boutique shop open, because I know some, I think I don't know if it costs money now, but I know back 4 years ago when I signed up, it didn't. You could just, say you wanted the boutique side, and I had applied for it then and was like, okay, I'm just going to hang on to it. And then I started adding stuff into the boutique, because I was already, doing craft stuff then. But I don't know if it costs money now. I mean, I don't think it should. And to me, it's cheaper than Etsy anyways, because Etsy, you pay 20 cents per listing every single time, or every 3 months, plus the fee, plus this, plus that. I mean, it's just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's why I stopped selling on Etsy, and I sold on eBay. And I had a wedding that wanted, I think it was like 8 camouflage vests out of the True Timber fabric, and I clearly had it in my description, no refunds allowed. This is for a wedding. These are custom made. And then eBay came back and approved the refund when the wedding was canceled, and took it out of my PayPal account. And that was like $800.
Yeah.
And it's like, not going to sell on your platform anymore then, because I clearly had no refunds. This is everything. And they were like, no, we're going to approve the refund. And it's like, then I'm not going to sell the platform then.
I have to admit, that's one thing I love about Poshmark, is the chances of you getting a return are very unlikely to begin with, and then for them to side with the person is even more unlikely to begin with. But usually if I have a return, it's because I did something. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Send it back. I'll give you your money back, or I'll fix it, but then when you have other stuff, like I had just an order on Macari and they're like, oh, well, this is orange. And it's like, okay, well, you saw the pictures. I said it's orange because it's like, it's not really red. It's not really orange. It's like in between. You still ordered it, which on Macari is the same type of thing. But I did have one last night with Poshmark that just irritated the crud out of me. The lady, and this goes back to the pictures in the description. It doesn't matter how descriptive you could be or pictures, because I literally have in my description, pre-loved, see pictures, no refunds, no exchanges per Poshmark's policy, no. And
you should take that out, honestly, because that's not true, but keep going.
Yeah, well, all the pictures are listed. And it shows the pictures, and the very last picture has the back tag, which was cut off, and it's clearly right there. And the lady's like, oh, this tag was cut off. And I was like, I wanted to answer back, but trying to be all calm and polite, because Poshmark looks at it. I'm like, did you not look at the pictures? It says, please see pictures. And there's a picture that shows the actual tag cut off the back. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do about this. Like,
I always write out the description, tags have been removed.
I said it all the time, especially with Lululemon. I will say does not include the garment tag, because while it is obvious it doesn't include it, like I said with students, you have to anticipate, because someone will be like, well, the tag wasn't there. I need you to read the third bullet. They're like, oh. Yes, safety is always safety obvious. Does not include the tag.
Yeah, search engines don't read photos either.
Yeah.
So I we all have little horror stories and stuff of things we should have said or things we did, but that's where Poshmark, it's like things get lost in the mail. And Poshmark will refund you and refund the buyer. So they people complain about the postage, but when you've got that reassurance, knowing that you're going to get refunded if something happens to that package, it's worth the extra little bit of amount of money. To me.
Is true.
Yeah. Have you seen the price of the package? How much it
mailing
costs?
Stuff is high.
Poshmark is cheaper than, if you think about it, unless you're sending something that's super light, like a flat rate box is almost $20.
Yeah, they've got ridiculous.
Yeah, the post office is crazy.
They're raising their rates again too, by the way.
Yeah, and then also,
you guys see this? This is, speaking of damaged stuff, this is something I ordered, and it arrived with a big old hole in the box. I don't know.
Oh no!
That's the hole in the box.
Oh wow!
So I just had to open a return case because from what I can see from what's inside, the fabric is through it.
Right.
But wait, what did they ship it in, a cereal box? Like, what is that?
It's the regular packaging. It's a large box, but it just, like, can you see it? See, I don't know how to make things show up here.
No, I think it's because of the way the light is. Because I think the light,
there it is. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Just a huge chunk taken out of it.
That's their machines.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's their machines. They'll eat it. Because I've had that happen too. It's just their machines. They eat it, and then when they throw them, they don't. So my oldest son works at UPS, and so if you guys ever like ship anything, here's like the golden rule. He was telling me that if you put the fragile stickers on the box, they literally throw them. Like there's no, like that's a big red flag for them to throw them. So I literally stopped putting fragile stickers on my boxes, and everything now gets to the people safely, because when you put that do not bend fragile, it's like a light goes off in their brain for some odd reason, and they just start like throwing them and chucking them like, oh well, no big deal. Because he said it's just like what happens, like they'll throw them on the top if they're smaller, just because they don't want to jump up there. So it's just easier just to chuck them up there. So he's like, don't put fragile stickers on anything. And I'm like, seriously? He's like, yeah, seriously. He goes, don't do it. He goes, they literally play soccer with the fragile boxes. I'm like, why? Why not just the regular boxes? He goes, I don't know. He goes, it's just something in the chemical of the brain. They're like, oh, it's fragile. Okay, let's see how fragile it actually is. I'm like, that
Kids
is
don't
insane.
jump, they jump.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys all do. I'm like, and these are adults. I mean, it's not like he's 15. He's 20. He's gonna be 20, and he works with at UPS. You have to be 18 or older, and it's like he's working with like 25, 30-year-old people, and they're literally throwing boxes at each other that say fragile. And I'm like, I go, I thought that was a joke. He goes, no, I'm dead serious. He goes, if it says fragile, we like test the fragileness of it. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, we bust wine bottles. Like they'll have big wine cases because they say fragile and they know and it says wine, and they literally shove them as hard as they can to see how much shaking and damage that they can take. And I'm like, you guys are insane. I'm like, I can't believe you're admitting this to me. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's the way it is. He goes, and figure if you have like a 50-pound box coming behind that fragile little box, it's going to smash it no matter what. He's like, so there's no handle. It's not like people go, oh, it's fragile. Okay, let's handle this with care. They're like, forget it. It'll make it or it won't. So it's like, why put the fragile stickers on it?
That sounds like insurance fraud to me.
Yeah.
Like seriously. That sounds like pure insurance fraud.
To me, it sounds, I hate my job.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it sounds like they need to be paid better and like incentivized. Like, hey, the less damaged packages that you get, the more possibility of a bonus or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, but I think there's all the more reason to be careful on how you package your stuff, because I know in a lot of these groups, they'll talk about people. I mean, come on, the supplies are free, so there's no excuse, but people just do the worst packaging, and then your item may not even make it because someone threw it in a Ziploc bag and put a sticker on it, and it was like, hope for the best.
I wrap my orders, not the face masks, but any clothing stuff. Like I said earlier, I went to physical therapy there for a long time, and I was there, and they have the exam table paper. So I buy from Medline or from Amazon, but Medline's the company. I buy a box of 24 rolls of the tissue paper, and then I sell 2 rolls in my closet because that's less than 5 pounds. But it's 125 feet, and it's still the 21 inches wide, and it's so much easier than those stupid little squares of tissue paper. And the tissue paper, you've got to use like 2 or 3 sheets, so your finger doesn't go through them. And this is a lot heavier. Yes, we've all been to the doctor, so you kind of know, it still tears a little bit, but it's a lot heavier. So if you want to buy bulk, you can get it off of Amazon, but I sell 2 rolls in my closet. But I think this is the best stuff to wrap stuff in.
That's a good idea. I just went to, we had a place that was going out of business. That was a paint shop, and they had, the paint covering stuff, and they were selling it like 50 cents a roll. So I grabbed like as much as I could. And I was like, this will work.
Yeah.
If it can hold paint, it can hold everything else.
Yeah. I'll take the, if it's something that I think might possibly get wet or damaged, I'll take the tall kitchen bags, and I'll cut the red strip off for the tie, and I'll wrap it like it's wrapping paper.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
So, I just cut the red off so it's still plastic, but then I'll just wrap the thing in the plastic, and that's how I'll ship to try to help keep things
I want to
safe.
get some lavender scented ones so people can't complain that it stinks. Be like,
people will complain.
No.
They'll complain about that smell. People will
don't do it.
any smells at all, and people will complain about it.
Don't do it.
I know, right?
That's a good way to get a return, because I'm sensitive and blah blah. I don't do anything. I fold your item. I bought a folder from Amazon. Best thing ever. One of those shirt folders. I put your thing in with one of my lovely little business cards that I make at home, my little Bitmoji on it, and then I send you stuff the same day. That's it. No frills, thrills, chills, nothing. There you go.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
I always worry because I do have cats and stuff, but I don't smoke, and I accepted a return this morning. The guy's like, I opened it up and it smelled like cigarette smoke, and it's like, just send it back. You know, I don't
like,
smoke.
yeah. How do you just smell like smoke, you weirdo?
I had someone saying it smelled like marijuana. I'm like, I don't even smoke. I've only had 2 returns and I just accepted them both. I was like, I don't have time to argue.
Like,
Send my stuff back.
Just send
I
it
had
back.
crazy woman who was driving me crazy and took 3 days to order a bunch of stuff. After I shipped it, she told me she shouldn't have ordered it. She only had $4 left in her account for the rest of the month. And could I please help her? And I was like, are you kidding me? I already shipped this. Like, you have to go through Poshmark. And then when she got it, she was like, oh, this isn't like your description says, and like just trying to find a reason. And I just stopped talking to her. Like, she was like, it was almost like she had a mental illness though, because one day she was like, why isn't it here yet? And I said, I'm sorry, I mailed it the day after you ordered it. And then the next day she said, I know you did everything. I'm sorry, I'm just taking my frustrations out on you. And ultimately, I told her, if you want to return it, just open up a return with Poshmark, go through Poshmark, please. And she didn't end up doing it, but she drove me crazy for like a good week period.
It seems like the people that you give the best deals to are the ones that create the biggest problems. Really.
Yeah. I second that.
Yeah, bless your heart. See, one thing I learned in teaching is how to ignore people. I'm like, I get another email. I'm like, I already answered this 3 emails ago, so I'm gonna leave you on read. Just you learn real good how to just ignore.
Ultimately, I that was the takeaway. It was like, I'm just gonna ignore. I'm not gonna respond anymore.
Right. We call it leave it on read. There's no point of going back and forth. Matter of fact, once it gets to a point, I'm not a block heavy person, but for example, if you do a return for me, I'm blocking you. Because I know I took a lot of time describing and photographing. So if you're returning it, you've made up something. So feel free to block them. Like that's sometimes.
I got tickled. I sent out. I used the bulk features tool, the My Shoppers tool, Wednesday night to send out. I'm going to have a 5 for 25 face mask sale, and everything else is 30% off. And I went through and I went to all my previous buyers. And I had one person come back and say, I don't know why you sent me this email. This is spam. I'm reporting you to Posh. And it's like, I used the bulk features tool. I'm sorry that you got it. You previously liked something in my closet. Poshmark does not have that feature. I'm having your closet shut down. And it's like, why don't you come to my Zoom next Saturday and I'll teach you about the thing. And she's like, I've sold on Poshmark for 9 years and I know all of their features and they don't have anything like that. And I went to her closet and it's like, her total listings was a little over 2,000. And it's like, I've sold more than 2,000 this year. And if she's been on it for 9 years and only has current listings and that, and it's like, she just kept coming back and slamming me. And it's finally, it's like, lady, the same person that Manish got the exact same message that you did because he's a previous buyer and a previous liker. So I'm waiting to see if she's going to come next Saturday, but it's like, she just keeps coming at me and I'm going to have your closet shut down because these features, this was spam, you're violating their policy. And she'll send me a copy of something in the thing about not being allowed to do spam. And it's like, what do you, it's like, how do you say to somebody like that? It's like, it's a Poshmark feature, learn.
Listen,
read.
Y'all have not learned. Sometimes, like, you state your piece, you state the evidence, and then you don't keep commenting. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. At the end of the semester, I tell you that I'm gonna change your grade. Don't keep emailing me because I'm not gonna keep answering you. Do the same thing. Because what happens is you keep feeding them. All they're gonna do is tell you the same thing. They're just gonna reword it to hope that you change your mind. Like, I haven't changed my mind.
The last thing, she sent me like 4 things after I said, just come to my Zoom next Saturday and I'll teach you about the program. But
block, just block her and move on. But I think
I didn't even know there was a block feature.
I don't know how to block people. I don't know how to do that.
I haven't blocked too many people but some people will actually harass you, especially you know, if you have like people being harassed for like prices, there are fetish people on there who wants to see your feed. You know, there's all kinds of weird stuff. Like I've only blocked people, like I said, I have 2 returns that are all my
okay, then
orders.
I'm lucky that I haven't had any of that happen yet.
Yeah, but I mean, like use it wisely because
spam.
there are people who block folks because, oh, well, you sent me an offer. Because there's some people who don't accept offers and they will actually block you for sending them an offer. So use it wisely, but don't feed the trolls. Like once you set your piece with someone, leave them on read. Like don't keep on letting them, you know, harass you because they will. And, you know, once you said what you're going to say, let it go. Block them or move on. And if you see they're going to be a problem seller or buyer, don't even just block them. Be done with it. If it says they keep harassing you on your
I did block a guy once because he sent me a message. He goes, "I can keep you warmer than your cats."
Right, like people like that, like you know, block them. Be done with it because you don't know who that is on the other side.
It wasn't
it could be your sister harassing you for all you know.
But I had somebody who I had a pair of new shoes, and he said he'd buy them if I wore them and took pictures.
Yeah, I mean, there's some weird, there's some weirdos on there.
I'd be like, okay, let me put them on. They're now it's going to be $300 instead of the $50, and each picture is another $300. So how many pictures you want? Okay, that's $2,000. Okay, come on now.
And then they're gonna open up a return and say, "Oh, it wasn't stinky enough." I told them, you know. But no, I'm gonna tell you, teaching prepared me for Poshmark because when you come, I love I'm so broke, my broke college student. I said, "Oh, you won't lit a flame." I'm like, listen. If you're broke, you don't need to be on Poshmark. And I will tell you, and that just like my students, I'm like, your excuses do nothing for me. So if your budget doesn't allow you to be in my closet, find someone else's closet that will. Move on. Right. Your tears do nothing for me. Don't even come at me.
Oh, see, I'm such a sucker. I'm a sucker. I get people that are like, "I'm sorry, I just got out of the hospital." I'm like, "Oh, you poor thing. Here's $20 off."
Girl, please. I'll be like, you know what? I hope you feel better soon. Done. You haven't taught because I get the same. I had my gallbladder taken out. I'm like, what, 3 months ago? Like at this point, I could do. You know, you're welcome to take a seat in next semester's class.
No, I'll be honest. The worst thing I've ever done is like if I see something and it's like I can get it at like, I know it's gonna sound bad, but like Michael's or Joann's for like cheaper, then I'm like, okay, you know what? And then I send the offer for exactly what I could pay there, or maybe like $5 a little bit less. And I'm like, okay, where are you at? And they're like, oh no, this is what I have to have for it. And I'm like, okay, no offense, but I rather buy from small business. But if I can go down to Joann's and Michael's and get it cheaper and you're not willing to come off of it, I understand you paid some amount for it and I get you want to make your money back. But at the same token, I can then go over there and get it cheaper. So you kind of got to have some kind of flex there. That's the worst I've ever said. That's like,
don't be suckers. Don't be suckers. I'm going to tell you. Teaching will do this to you because I will blink my eye with you with a straight face and be like, so you didn't do your homework? Like after I get this 3-page email, I'll be like, so you didn't do your homework?
No, see, that's the problem.
I'm sure there was a reason in that email I didn't read, but I want to get to the point. Like, so you didn't do it. Okay. So, I mean
I do my homework though.
Right. And I'm just looking like, I don't even need all this. I mean, did you do it? Like you didn't, you didn't do it. So why we talk, but I think it's the same thing. Like, don't be a sucker because also keep in mind, when you start selling your closet cheap, people can filter your things. So they're like, oh, you let Sally Sue buy these Lululemons for $10. Well, why are you going to charge me $40?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do.
Right.
I never even thought about that. Now that you say that, like I never even, but see, you stick with the same brand all the time. So I could see that being like an issue, an issue, but like if I don't sell the same brands, I don't.
Yeah, my brands are all over the place, and I'm moody. I might accept an offer and because I'm just in the mood that I wouldn't have at another time.
Right. I could see that though. Sam's like, nope, not me. I
sell within the same niche. No, you just have to learn how to have boundaries because, like I said, when they pull the college student, I think I'll be like, I'll be like, I'm not moved. I'm like, I'm sorry, you found the wrong seller. If you're broke, you need not to be on Poshmark. How about that? Go get a job. And I sell athletic wear. So nothing in my closet is essential. You do not need like Nike leggings to live. I mean, yeah, you might look good in them, burn some calories, but I don't sell anything that you are going to need to survive.
That's, you know what, that's what I need to think about. I need to think like, you don't need this. So like, because you're right.
But I mean, there's a sucker on every Posh closet and they take advantage of that because you're like, oh.
Yeah, see,
No,
I need the
I'm
moolah. I need the moolah to live. No, just kidding.
You know, see, I don't like, I thank God I haven't been harassed. The sob stories, I just because again, I hear them all the time. Like I already prepared myself on Monday when I wake up to hear why you didn't do my homework, you know, and then I blink my eye and I'm like, part of the syllabus, no, you know,
right,
leave me alone. But yeah, you just have to don't keep entertaining trolls and be careful them. Like when they start commenting your listing, block them and then relist your item if it hasn't sold, because again, it just brings bad vibes to your closet. You're running a business, and that's kind of the mindset you have to have.
I have had that happen before where I had like an item and someone's like, oh, I can buy this at Kohl's for this much. I'm like, okay, so I took it down and then I put it back up because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna have these comments like on the actual listing, so I just delisted it and relisted it. But it was
I had someone do that too, and I couldn't believe it because I went to her closet and she was a seller herself, and I was like, why would you do that? Like, go to someone's listing and say, you can buy this at this place for this much. And I think what I did is I made a bundle and I sent her one of those charts that shows, because she had made me like a really low ball offer too. And then when I declined it, that's when she said, well, I can buy it here at this on the listing. And I bundled the chart and sent her the chart that shows, like, you know what I'm talking about? The one that shows how much you made with the different offers. They don't
care. They don't care.
I didn't hear from her again. So I was like, okay, I think she got the point. Like,
no, you like seriously, like don't even waste you are a business. You are Renee Corporation or love to go in and tear down a store corporation. Amazon is not stalking their customers. They don't do that. So when someone is rude to you, you know, thank you, you know, have a great day. Block them, relist, keep moving. If you can find it better on Kohl's, then why are you on my page? I'm sure Kohl's.
Well, and that's what I said. I actually said, but you wouldn't be supporting like another Posher, like, you know, like there's reasons to buy on Poshmark versus wherever you're saying you can get this, you know.
Right. No,
don't be a sucker. Like,
that's why I'm saying I'll bundle something. Like if you have something that I like, I'll bundle it and then send you a message, because like that's how I know that sounds horrible, but I want to be treated that way. Like if you have a comment about my pricing, like bundle it and send it to just where me and you can see it, and then we can carry on a conversation on why.
No. If you add an item to the bundle, other people can still get access to that bundle. You've got to do the bundle at the top of the page.
Yeah.
That is blank listing in the bundle.
Oh, okay. See, I think when I'm like so you're saying like when you're on your, like if I went to your closet and I bundled something in your closet, if I went to the bundle on the page, your little bundle thingy, would that make it? Yeah. And I talk to you, like how you and I have had the conversations, is that just in between me and you? And then like I've done that with Let It Go too. We've talked in the bundle. Is that just in between?
If you've added an item to the bundle, then it can be read by other people.
But they have to go hunting for it. And normally people don't go from bundle to bundle to look. They look in the item.
Yeah, it depends. But
nothing's a secret on Posh. Nothing.
Right. Yeah. Like when Nicole State had all her drama, everybody's like, y'all gotta go read her
bundle. It's secret. If it's an empty bundle, it is secret. Because I had a Zoom with two people, and they were bundling back or talking back and forth on a bundle, and I was going back and forth to their closets, and I could not find their conversation.
Okay, you just said who's drama? Who's drama? What? See, I'm out of drama loop. See, that's how much business I'm in.
She's a YouTuber. She had some drama earlier last year. And so people were like, oh, you got to go to her bundle because you could read it. Like you can read the comments, or there are these Posh groups where they will, you know how you get blocked and you never bother anybody? The reason why is that someone will go to your closet and they will read some of the things you put in there. Like, I don't want to deal with her. So you can actually get blocked with never interacting with people, because there are Posh groups that purposely like go out and they find people Like either someone's had a return and they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with this person, or they'll happen to go to your closet and notice how maybe, you know, you cuss somebody out in the comments and they're like, oh, you know, I don't want to deal with her. But yeah, there are a lot of groups because people are like, how do I get blocked? Easy. There are groups that do that.
Well, I did not know that. I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah, there are. There are groups that do that. I don't block anyone because, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, there are some groups that will block you. You've never interacted, don't even know these people, but you just told Renee to go blah 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 blah. Because if she can find it Cole's better, why she bothering you? They're like, I'm gonna block her and I'm gonna block Renee too, because both of them are issues. Kid you not, there really are groups like that.
See, me and Chrissy are like, I didn't even know you could block people. La la la.
I know.
You can block it. And there are a lot of people who have blocked a lot of people. But again, you're running a business, so you have to keep in mind when you're running a business, you cannot take things personal. Amazon has return stores, multiple of them. That's because people return their stuff. Amazon is not out there cussing people out. Accept your returns, move on. People are not going to like your stuff. They're gonna, tell you that your foot is dirty. Move on.
I left a negative review once on Amazon, and the company contacted me and offered to give me another one if I took my review down. So
hey, I mean, I'd have been like, so does it come in pink? Whatever color. Yeah. I mean, I had a company. I was doing a review for a company. I had a compression sleeve, and I was like, man, only thing would have made this better because I had one. I was like, if I had a left one, I'm like, if only I had a right one. They were like, hey, we rated you need another one, so we're gonna send it to you. Like, thank you. So yeah, some of them do look.
Oh, I did not know this at all. And I know Joy.
But listen, you're not missing anything because again, when listen to Daily Refinement has helped me to have like a seller's more like a business mentality. Don't get sucked into the drama because it's a waste of time. Like you should not be in Renee's closet. Let her sell horseshoes from the cat if that's what she wants. That is not your closet. It's not going to pay your bills. A lot of people spend too much effort worrying about things that have nothing to do with them. As my mother says, you're worried about the wrong thing. And you're going to find a lot of those groups, that's what they do. They're too busy worrying about stuff that helps them sell nothing. Don't do that.
Did you know that you can delete a love note if somebody says, oh, yeah, it gives you 5 stars, but then says, I really didn't like it. It was the wrong size, or, it was something that you can go in and delete the love notes.
How do you
know that? No.
You go into the sales page, it is, and
you mark it, you flag it.
You can just say delete love notes, an option.
Or you can have somebody flag it.
Order. No, you don't even have
easy for you.
Yeah, you don't even have to. Let me find my sales.
Guys, keep in mind, you're not going to be a perfect seller. Like you're not going to be a perfect person. Sometimes we need to hear, I wish the packaging was better, because sometimes we do need to improve. So I wouldn't be that person that's constantly trying, because anybody who has all perfects would make me wonder, like, is it really all perfect? Something's going on. So be thoughtful of that too.
Yeah. Where did she go? Are you there, Chrissy?
She's there. She's just off camera.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I went into an order that had been sent and the person gave me a 5-star rating. I scrolled all the way down to the page. I'm on an Android, so it might be a little bit different device-wise. But I went all the way down to the bottom and on the order page, and it says problem/order inquiry. And if you click on that, it goes to the next page and it says delayed shipment, release payment, cancel order, remove love note.
Oh.
I don't have that. It doesn't have a remove love note on mine. I was with you on all of that until that.
Have they rated that, the sale order that you're on, has that been rated? And
let me check again. Let's see. Problems, order inquiry. Oh, remove love. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So if somebody gives you a backhanded compliment.
Oh, wow.
Or
I didn't know
something weird, because somebody might, say, oh, 5 stars and then rake you over the coals, or say something stupid that you just don't want to have that vibe or that love note showing in your closet. You can remove the love note once it's been rated.
No, it only works on ones that are like actually like more than one. Cause like I have one that's like a 1 star and it says item.
Yeah, it has to be a 5-star. The 5 stars are the only ones that other people can see.
That's right.
Oh,
You don't see
okay.
4, 3, 2, or 1. They're hidden.
Yeah. So only the 5 stars are the only ones that people can go to see. And some people leave backhanded compliments or say something stupid.
Some people are just petty, and that's why I'm so glad that you can only see only the 5 stars, because I had some guy give me 4 stars or less than that, something, and he said like this is a fake, and I said, where, like, can you prove, like, what do you like, as far as I know, it is what it says it is. Like, what is your evidence to say that this isn't? And like, why are you giving me a bad review? Like, but that's when I contacted them, like, this is not okay. And they were like, nobody can see it, don't worry about it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I had the same thing when someone said it smelled like smoke, and I contacted them too. I was like, I don't smoke. And and I don't know what happened, but the person removed, I think I actually commented, I was like, hey, I don't smoke. And the comment magically disappeared. I don't know, it didn't come back. So I guess I was okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. Now I'm like, no, just kidding.
Yeah. But again, I mean, take it as a grain of salt too, because again, if you're doing your best, you have photographed, you gave them exactly what, because I had this lady who I gave her an offer. She had these skirts and she's like, oh, it's a size 10. The measurements were there. So I'm like, clearly you're not a size 10. And I talked back and forth for a while, but I was like, I provided measurements. I didn't feel bad. You just are a size 10 and you thought you were a size 10, and there's nothing else I can do. She's like, well, I guess I'll lose some weight. Well, that's between you and your size 10. I don't know. I don't care.
Right.
But sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. So if it doesn't come back, just move on. That's all you can do.
Sometimes people do give a little TMI. I had somebody who, like, I shipped her something, and it has my address on it, so it says I'm from Delaware, and she like wouldn't stop like writing up to me about how she had been to Delaware, and like every time she remembered somebody new that lived in Delaware or had once lived in Delaware, she was like, oh, I just remembered my ex-boyfriend's cousin's sister also lived in, and it just went on for like a couple weeks, and I was just like, why are you, oh my god.
That's when you need to block her, because clearly we're having too much problems. You're not her Posh BFF. Like, go on about your business.
Okay, so I have one more question for you, Joanne. You said that you had over 15, was it 1,500 or 15,000 listings?
1,500 active.
So how do you so with your big, huge descriptions that you are leaving, how many can you list a day, and how are you getting so many listed?
It takes about 20 minutes to do a listing between photographing and, if I need to sharpen the image anyway, since I use my Canon camera and download to my desktop, it takes me about 20 minutes to do a listing. My goal is to do 10 a day, either relist or new lists and stuff. It's a hard balance. There are days that I'll just spend all day long listing and relisting and doing stuff. And, right now I'm going to be spending the next, this weekend finishing up my orders from all my sales for face masks. I'm going to be sewing. I'm going to try to get a couple of listings out there, but it's hard to balance the thrift and list new things and make the things and list the things and maintain your closet. It's a constant it's a constant balancing act.
Yeah. Can I make a suggestion?
And keeping the house clean.
One thing that I was resistant to, but I now started to subscribe to, is the draft bank. So one thing they talk about with daily refinement is have a draft bank, so that, like you said, so what I'm trying to do is over the weekend, because during the week I'm just really busy, I want to list 5 a day. So that means that over the week I need 35 items. So my goal is over Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get to 35. So I need 15 for those 3 days, but then the others put to the draft bank. So when I wake up on Monday, I just choose my 5 items, release it. So that might be something you consider. So like when you're in the groove of things, go ahead and get 1 or 2 extra items, put them to your draft bank. And if you do that over a course of days, then on the days you're really busy or as a sew day, then you can just go to your draft bank and pull maybe 5 or how many you plan on using, and then you're good. And then you keep the numbers steady. So that's one thing I'm doing. And I was resistant to it until I got a cold. And you're sick, it takes all your strength. And I was like, listen, we're gonna relist 5 things. I just had no energy to the list anything. I was sick. And so that really got me on board with the whole idea of
that
having a
makes
draft
sense
thing.
to do it that way. But I was told that the day that you create the draft is the day that the listing is going to show. No matter what day you drop it, it still goes back to when you created the draft.
Well, not for me. Like mine shows like just in. I think the
It'll
drop
still
might be
show
that
as
way.
just in. It'll still show as just in, but if you do your inventory report and in the listing stuff, it's going to show the date that it actually was created.
That's
Well,
good
let me check
information.
because I got these Lululemon pants that I just listed today, but I started the draft like 2 weeks ago. So let's see if that is actually true.
Yeah, check your
So
inventory.
let me pull the inventory report, and I'll tell you because I know there's a lot of Posh misconceptions. Someone's like, well, if I buy a pair of pants, someone will buy something. I'm like, girl, ain't nobody buying nothing because you shopping. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it'll definitely show up as just in. I agree with that. But I've been told that it shows up the day that you created the draft.
Well, let's go and check. So let's see. Is it under my sales? Let me go find the inventory.
Yeah, my sales.
Okay, here we go. Let's check it. Let's see. So again, these Lululemon pants, I bought them when I was in Florida, and I started the draft like I don't know the day I got them because I like Lululemon whenever I can find it, and I finally got around to listing them today. So let's just see. But yeah, regardless of when it's listed, the draft bank is good because of the fact that if you can, while you're in the mood, go ahead and list. And I think you have up to 50. You can, you're good. You can divvy your time up better. But let's check and see. So
I've done the drop soon.
I can't even say it. I use the Vendu draft bank because I already have the Vendu, so I just draft it in there. And then when I'm ready, like I have over, I think like 50 or 60 DVDs already drafted. And then when I'm like, okay, I don't feel like doing it, I'll just do, okay, go ahead, Sam. She's got it.
Those Lululemon pants were listed today on January the 7th, despite the fact that I started the draft 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad.
So, don't believe everything you see on Facebook. So yeah, so it's showing right here that they were listed on January 7th. I started the draft like December. Whenever I got them, I was like, oh my God, I found Lululemon. I was trying to school my mother. I'm like, you got to get the ones with the Omega on the back, not the horseshoe, the Omega. Got to, learn your Greek letters. But yeah, if you guys, the draft bank is beautiful.
So whoa, back up, just a second. What's the difference between the horseshoe and the Omega?
Well, the Omega is what is on the back of Lululemon. They look very similar, but the Omega is the actual Greek letter for the little U thing. It's not a horseshoe.
Right. Does everybody here use Vendu?
Huh?
Does everybody use Vendu?
I don't use any. I don't cross list. I only use Posh.
I used to use List Perfectly, and now I use Vendu.
And you find it's worth it?
Oh, I love it because it's even got the not accountability, it's got bookkeeping in it. So you can literally can't delist it, mark it as sold, and then it'll delist it from everything, and you can put how much you paid for it, and there's like a little profit thing and everything. So I love it. To me, Vendu, it was like 1,000 times better than List Perfectly. Because I tried.
I used one shop, and I'm trying to decide if I should switch to Vendu.
Well, try it out. They have like the 5 listings that you can use for free. Try that, see if you like it, see if it works better for you, because to me, it's amazing. I mean, like I said, I list everything on all the platforms, and it takes me like less than a second to cross list it.
Is Poshmark your like biggest platform?
It is as of this last year, yes, because I have done more. It was more buildable than everything else. eBay wants too much stuff, and I hate eBay, and I hate the returns, and I'm always fighting with eBay about something. So my 2 biggest ones are like Macari and Poshmark, and those are the ones that I cross list. But I cross list everything to everything because like I look at it as except Etsy. I hate Etsy too. But I look at it as that if there's certain people that love Poshmark and they're only going to stay on Poshmark, and then there's certain people that love Macari and will stay on Macari. So if I can sell my item on Macari, then I'm going to sell it on Macari. If I can sell it on Poshmark, I'm going to sell it on Poshmark. So that's why I do it. I know everybody else has their own certain thing, but Macari is kind of like a list it and forget it. You can just list it and not have to do anything, kind of like Kitizen. And then, you know, Poshmark's where I spend all my, you know, my sharing, my doing this, and I've dived way deeper into Poshmark, and I've seen the results from Poshmark. Like Sam knows that I did 24 hours. I did on my own personal listing challenge for Thanksgiving. She thought I was crazy. I said, okay, for Thanksgiving, for Black Friday, I'm staying up for 24 hours. And I literally stayed up from 6 a.m. Thursday all the way until I think it was like 7. I think I fell asleep for like 2 hours and that was it. But I listed over 100 items and I was like, oh, I'm not seeing anything over the weekend. But like the next 2 months, I didn't really have to do any more listing because those listings were selling on all the sites. But that was just something, that was my own personal thing. Someone had said it in one of the Zoom meetings. They're like, oh yeah, somebody did this. I'm like, I'm going to do that this year. And now it's going to be a part of my regular routine.
Yeah, I'm never doing that ever.
Me neither. I don't have enough inventory for 24 hours. I barely have a week for. Wow.
Oh my goodness, really? I have these huge I call them money piles. I have to call them money piles because if I don't, then it's just a death pile.
No, I don't keep mine up a niche market. But one thing you want to do with the listings and everything, always just make sure whatever you do, you can be consistent with. Unless you're gonna always do 24 hours, you know, that'll get tired after a while, but just be consistent. So if you could be okay doing 10 a day, and you can know you can do 10 a day every day, all day, stick with 10. Otherwise, you know, it sounds fun now, but even just think about 24 hours makes me exhausted. And I'm not even
I'm like feeling the migraine that would come after that.
Listen, I just can't even. After a while, it would just be a jumbled mess. So just focus on.
I know. After a while, I was just like, I don't care, whatever.
Right. I would quit. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna give me another job. But yeah, just focus on consistency. That's really where you want to go. Because if you can be consistent, then you're more likely to stick with it and you'll get more results versus just doing one big boom. You know, because that gets tiring. Like that just, I don't know. That's
it was one big boom and then I kept going. It wasn't like I stopped. I think I did 10 or 15 every day consistently after that, which was awesome. But you know, this year I haven't been as active. I think I've done like for the year so far, I think I've done like maybe 90.
Okay. Well, it's only January 7th.
I was gonna say it's January. I do 5 a day.
It's only January 7th.
I've done my 30.
I'm 67. I've done 67 so far. Sorry.
That's good.
I don't know.
I'm like, I had to look at the actual number. I did 67. I'm sorry. I lied a little bit.
Yeah, I can do my 5. Again, for me, it's all about consistency. You know, I've learned it like running. I have very set running days. When I wake up on Monday, I know I'm gonna run, like no, you know, whatever. And it's just easier when you know in your mind that I'm going to do this on this day, this amount.
That's true.
It does something to you because on Monday, don't talk to me at 7 o'clock about nothing. I'm like, listen, I'm about to run to Chick-fil-A. Leave me alone. You can hit me up at 11 o'clock. So, but I know that.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah, but you know, be consistent because otherwise you're gonna get tired of doing the little bolus things.
Well, that's why I was curious about the whole handcrafted, how you did it, if you did with the quantity variations, because I know when you're out listing and you're doing, you know, finding secondhand stuff, the chances of you finding 2 of the same exact item are not likely. But when you're doing a handcraft, are you actually doing it you know, like, okay, I've got 10 of the birthday masks, or are you just doing 10 separate listings of each one?
No, I'll do the quantity of 10, you know, for each size so that I don't have to worry about repeating the listing, you know, every time one sells. So I'll have a quantity on there, and hopefully someday Posh will have it so that a person can have 2 of the exact same thing in the shopping cart. because right now they can't. So that's part of the reason why I have one print listed under men's and one print listed under women's, so they can add both listings to the shopping cart. Otherwise, I've got to do a custom bundle.
And I
that
didn't
drives
know
me
that.
nuts.
That's why I was wondering how you did that, because like I thought when you did the variations, and I don't
Mhm.
think anybody knows this, because I didn't know this until I actually started doing the custom stuff, that if you have a size small and a size medium, they can't add the size medium and the size small into their bundle. It has to be two separate listings. And so that's why I was like, okay, because I started thinking about that with the shirts. I'm like, okay, maybe I should just so now I have a size small, a size medium, a size large. So if they want to give their husband one and them one, they can bundle it and save the money. Because I didn't know. I was thinking when you have the variation, you could literally go, okay, I want a size small, I want a kids, I want this, because you already have that variation.
Right. I hope they change that to be able to have multiples in the same. Because there's been several times where I've created a custom bundle. The title will say "Bundle for Chrissy," and then somebody else named Paul will come and buy it. It's like, it's not supposed to be for you.
Right.
It's like it's supposed to be for this person. So hopefully they'll get that changed. I like sharing parties, and some people don't like sharing to parties. But so if something is where I can split it out and know that it used to be that if you had a small, medium, large, and 2X, you couldn't share that listing to the plus size party, but now they've changed it and you can. So that's one of the reasons why I did the men's and the women's, so that I could share the men's mask to the men's parties and try to take advantage of extra publicity there.
Now, did you find that when you do like your bundles and you do like the custom bundle for somebody, do you know that like that's just counted as like one sale instead of it being two, which I didn't know that either, because when I did a custom sticker for somebody, they had ordered a set of 2 of them and I had made, and it was like, oh no, I should have done it like a different way. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how messed up is this? Like, why can't you have quantity? I want to order 2 of the same thing, or I want to order 5. If you've got 200 of them, they should be able to order 5 of the same exact thing if they want to, instead of it being a custom bundle where you have to then go, okay, this is a order of 5, here's the price.
Right. Yeah. It really skews the My Closet Insights.
Yeah, I could see that doing that.
Trying to look at the information, it skews it. I on the first of every month, my routine is to print out my sales report for the previous month. I print out my inventory sheet and I change my furnace filter. That's why I do that the first of every month. Those are the 3 things that I do. Wow. And the inventory report, with my closet being as it is, my inventory report turns out to be like 76 pages long.
Holy cow. And
but
why do you print that out for you?
Because it'll show the oldest listing first, and I can then decide that those are the ones that I want to relist.
Oh, okay. So that's why you do that. Okay, that makes sense.
That's why I do it. Is I that'll show my oldest listings. It's also a sense of accomplishment when it gets to the face mask, because I just relist one listing, but there's 3 sizes and each size prints out as a different line. So I get to cross off 3 things at once. So it makes you feel like you accomplished something.
Now, see, Renee, with that, then also there's a setting in there that you can set it where it'll automatically do like a timer that in 15 days or 30 days or 60 days, your listing has been up that long stale. So you need to redo it. And that was
one shop does that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's what I like. And then you can also, organize it. So that's why I'm saying, check out there's the free 5 listings for the month. Just go in, sign up, play with it and see if you like it, and then go from there. I don't know how much one shop is, a month?
I think I pay, it's like $11 a week.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, you pay $8.90. Like the lowest for Vendu is $8.99 for like, I think it's like 25 listings. But what I do and what they said you could do, which they don't like to tell everybody, is that if, say, like this month, they're doing a 40% off. If you buy the highest level, which would be like, I think it's like $80, and then it's like 4,000 listings. You literally draft all 4,000 listings, and then you can go down to the $8 a month. And then every single month you're getting 25 more, and you just keep adding to that. And then you still have that 4,000 plus the 25. Or what she said, some people do is they do the 4,000 and then they cancel and they go down to the free one. And then they wait like 4 or 5 months and then they go back and buy another 4,000 because you never lose it. So that's why I like Vendu a lot better. So it's cheaper.
It sounds, yeah, I do like cheaper.
Yeah.
I keep checking to see if Adriana answered the question about the 60 days versus the 90 days for the relist. And I haven't got an answer yet, but when I was looking earlier, I think it was one shop that said, we relist every 60 days so that it shows up as just in on Poshmark. So there's things out there that I'm still seeing the 60 days, but I know when I tested it today in my closet, the 60-day didn't show up as just in, but the one that was a little over 90 days did. And, it's like some people are saying it's the 90 days, and I want an answer to this on, is it 60 or is it 90?
Yeah, I just relist after 15 days if it has.
I was going to say one shop, you can personalize it. So yeah, it has like, you can do like 30, 60 or 90.
Yeah, that's what Vendu has. It has it all the way down to 15. So I'm like, okay, well, within 2 weeks, I can tweak something. So I usually go in and I tweak the title, and then there's a spot at the bottom that has notes. And then I'll type in, okay, I tweaked the title to say this, or I move these pictures around just so I have the notes. So then, okay, in 15 days, okay, maybe now I should take new pictures or I should do something different. That's
how many active listings do you have?
I think right now I have 1,000 because I can't seem to get up over 1,000, which isn't a bad thing. I mean,
that means you're selling stuff. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't seem to get past that. Every time I get close, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna hit 1,000. It's like, nope. I'm like, okay, cool.
My goal was to have everything relisted within 90 days. Since Poshmark added the feature that if somebody lowballs you an offer, no matter what the offer is, all the other people that's ever liked that item gets an email saying somebody has made an offer on an item.
I love that one. That one's so awesome.
That is awesome.
And that, it's like if you're doing it every 15 days, it seems like you're losing out on that potential part of it, but maybe having it relisted is all, offsetting having the likers that's going to get that message. I don't know.
Sometimes I have items that like I had one today that had 7 likers, but like nobody, I like dropped it for closet clear out, and like it's like, okay, did you you liked it, but I just dropped it, and no, like so it's like
people really do just like it. They have no intention of buying.
So I just listed it because I was just like, these people have been sitting on this. I'm not going to lower the price more than this. So
yeah, I usually play with it. Like I had it at 30 day, or I think I started at like 60 or so. Like most of them are at 60, and I'm like, okay, now I need to start doing it. And I go from I organize it from oldest to newest, so that way I start going from the oldest, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm like at 30 days, okay, do I really want it? Okay, yeah. So like all my stuff has like these little warning, yeah, over 15. I'm like, do I really want to list it? Nah, I'll go to something older.
Okay, I need to go, but I want to make one more point to you, Chrissy. If you have a shirt that has small, medium, and large, and a couple of the items is sold, since you're using a listing service, I don't know if it's exactly the same as just doing it on Poshmark. If I have a shirt, so I do have some boutique items in my closet. If I have a small, medium, large shirt, in my closet, all on the same listing, and the medium has sold, and the small and the large is still there, and I've dropped the price a couple of times, and I want to relist it. Before I relist it, I go back and I edit that listing and raise the price so that when it shows that it's been relisted, people can't search and see that you sold it before at a lower price.
Oh,
that make
that's
sense?
yeah, that's kind of cool.
Did I say that
You know
right?
what? I tried that. And when I went to go lower it, it wanted me to go to the last price that I had posted, even though it was a brand new, it was a, I changed the price and then I copied it. So let's say it was a $15 item that I lowered to 12, that closet clear out buyer didn't end up buying it. So I went into the listing, put it back to 15, and then I copied it. I still couldn't go lower than 12. I mean, I couldn't go lower than 12. I had to go even lower.
Oh, wow.
I was a matter of how
disappointed in
old
that.
the listing is, because I've never ran into that problem when I've done it. I just wonder if it goes back to that, how old the listing is.
Yeah. I don't know, but I thought it was really
Yeah.
weird because I thought when you
Yeah, it is
copied a listing, it started from day one.
It does. It used to if it was 60 days or older, but now it might be 90 days or older. But that's an interesting point. You know, if I'm trying to relist a face mask that I've had, you know, up there for a while, and all 10 are still available on each size, I've got the choice of deleting that listing since nothing is sold. On my desktop, if I change all of the quantities to 0, then it'll say sold out and I can do a new listing. If I try to change all of the quantities to 0 on my Android, it won't put the sold out there on my Android, but it will on my desktop.
There are many discrepancies between the desktop and the phone, and I don't like that because it's quirky, because one thing works on the phone that doesn't work on the PC, and then one thing works on the PC that doesn't work on the phone.
Right. So I need to go. So it's 7 o'clock. I've got to get my group going for their 7 o'clock thing. So it'll be anxious. I'm anxious to hear what they say about the 60 days and the 90 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I talk to you guys about the campaigns that are happening right now?
What about them?
Well, I was talking with a bunch of people about this the other day, and they were saying that the days that their campaign expired were different from my day. For example, I opened up let's say the sneakers, and it said that I had to complete the campaign by, let's say I opened it up on the 3rd and I had till, I don't know, the 9th to complete it. And somebody else had a different day. It was just really bizarre. And now the campaigns are totally gone, even though they advertised that they were going to be doing a campaign a day.
Yeah. Okay. Did you notice that too? Because I had to go, I couldn't access it through the app. I had to come to my laptop to find the blog, to find the active campaigns.
Yeah. And then what I would do is I would try to send the campaign from my laptop, from my PC, and I couldn't, like, to send the link. I had to do it through my phone, but yet the one prior, I did it successfully from the PC.
Go ahead, Sam.
And so according to Reddit, which everybody knows is so right, apparently they've canceled the daily campaigns. Apparently it's been so overwhelming, and people, because I mean, you think about it, it's really low-hanging fruit. So I read that they have actually stopped the daily campaigns. And notice there's not been any daily ones since the 3rd or the 4th.
Yeah.
So I know they're running some, I think, on social media, but I think the ones on Poshmark per Reddit, they're not doing those anymore. So if you got in, you got in. But as far as the date, I noticed too that the due date and when I accepted the campaign date were different. And I wonder if once you accept it, do they give you some time? Because I think I have this sweatshirt when it's kind of like that. It was like due to 1st, but once I accepted it, they extended to like the 7th or something. So I wonder if they give you, because I wonder if they're giving you a
exactly
little
what-
grace. 'Cause I don't check the campaigns often, so maybe they're giving you some grace from the moment you accept it to when it's due.
Yeah, that's what they did for the Christmas, or I think it was the Christmas ones, is that it's whenever you accept, so like you have X amount of time to accept it, and then once you accept it, they give you X amount of days after you accept it to have it done, because it was like the headphones, and when the electronics were in, like I had the
Mhm.
headphones, I accepted like all the campaigns, but some of them I missed because I thought maybe, okay, I have some Bluetooth headphones, but I didn't actually have any Bluetooth headphones. And it gave me like 2 or 3 days compared to when it said it was going to before I accepted it.
But it seems like it's different for everybody. For
Yeah, it all
example,
depends on
if
what
I-
time you accept it. So
Yeah,
if you accepted it, say like at 12 o'clock that day, then 2 days later it would, I think it's like 2 days they give you, so it's like 2 days later. But if you waited until like the last day, like you noticed it later, then it would be you have 2 days later. Does that make sense? They give you some
Yeah.
time, so it depends on
Yeah.
how, just like if you look at, like there's 3 that are still going on, that's like it's for Facebook only, it's like your goals, your something, like 2 other things, and I haven't accepted those ones, and I've noticed that they just keep going, they keep rolling over until I accept them, and I haven't accepted them yet. They were due all the way back in November, but since I hadn't accepted them, I still can accept them, and the time
cool.
now it's like January 23rd or something like that.
Yeah, that's good. Good to know.
Yeah,
I
but
was
I
just trying
don't
to
think we
accept
should
them
count on any more daily because I was like, ooh, shoot, well, I don't sell shoes, but I was like, ooh, t-shirts. I can do t-shirts because they're like hitting all the New Year's resolution clothes, which is all I sell. I'm like, ooh, I can do leggings. I can do this. I can do that. I don't sell shoes, but you know.
Yeah, I hit them all. I was like, I'm not gonna lie, it's free money. I'm like, come on, free shopping money? Of course.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Well,
I
not
mean,
only
honestly,
that, but it's also, for those items that you have in your closet that are low money. If you're not, if you can only get $12 for it, well then, hey, 12 plus 5 is 17.
Right.
yeah.
Because some of
That
us,
is true.
we all have those low ticket items that we've got to have.
Honestly, they would be like, you get like a 2% reduction on your fees. I'm like, what else? A matter of fact, I will go find some shoes. What you want me to sell? I got some shoes I'm on it right now. So,
You're so
but yeah, I
funny.
stay in my lane on stuff. I only sell like what's in my niche. So I was like, well, I don't sell shoes. I have a whole bunch, but most of them I can't sell. So,
That's because you wear holes in them.
Usually none of your
well,
running
actually,
backs-
I'm an ambassador, and so I'm an ambassador, and I get a lot of free stuff, so I can't sell it. So usually, what I do is like, if I don't like it, I'll just give it to a friend. But yeah, like I had a $200 pair of Adidas. I wore them 5 times, and I didn't like them, but I couldn't sell them. So, like I got a pair of Pumas. They're like $170 pair. They're too
What?
small, and I can't sell them.
I would be like, I'm
What you can't sell because you got it for
closet.
free?
And what?
Because you got it for free? Is that
Yeah,
why?
because I got them for free as an ambassador, so you can't sell it. So what I do is I put it all in the box and I give it to my run buddy. We have like the same size shoes, same taste. I'm like, take all this stuff. I got like a running box full of stuff. I ate like 1 pack of gummies and I was like, take the rest because I can't sell it. And I was like, yeah, it can't stay in my house. So she took all kinds of stuff. I was like, it has to go.
Right.
But yeah, I don't sell shoes because for me, staying in my niche, shoes are not something I can get consistently. So I don't even bother with them because I can't find them just enough to actually have them. I find 1 pair, but that's just not enough. So I'm sticking to what I can find all the time in good condition, and shoes are just not one of them.
All right, I have to go. My laptop is going to die.
Yeah, I was just gonna
I
say,
gotta go
I gotta go
eat.
feed my honey.
So do I.
I will talk to you guys again. We'll do it again next month if you guys want to show up. Same bet time, same bet channel, same Friday, first Friday of the month, and we can see how everybody's doing and keep pushing.
Yeah.
each other. Take this
Awesome.
stuff and run with it.
Happy selling, everybody. And y'all
Happy
definitely check
Yeah.
out Daily
Good
Refinement on
luck.
YouTube.
Have a good weekend.
Yes.